All right.
You're able to wedge
So
yourself away
this
from one of your primary narcissists.
is who I fucks with. I have a couple of doctors. My main doctor was Dr. Dre and
Hey everyone, it's
Alex
Dr.
from
Rob.
Mindful
Welcome back to
Attraction.
this YouTube channel on all things related to narcissism, narcissistic relationships, and
Teal Swan, Ralph
and
Smart.
recovering from these
Those are my
narcissistic
doctors.
relationships. So I want
Dr.
to take
Bob.
on an interesting issue today.
But this
and it'll be
doctor
also interesting for you to reflect on where you might even view yourself.
is hilarious and on point.
There's complicated language we use when we talk about narcissism and narcissistic abuse. One thing we sometimes use is the language victim, okay? So
Can you hear it?
Talk about the progression of recovery from narcissistic abuse. And I want to talk about it as a progression from victim to survivor. And then the final step. We often don't think past the survivor. So keep watching so we can talk about what that final stage is in this process. Okay? So let's first talk about this word victim. Victim is an unpleasant word, right? Because it implies someone who's passively having something happen to them.
Listen to this shit.
Back from. The word victim implies a powerlessness, a helplessness, oftentimes a lack of knowing, and oftentimes an
I'm not tagging anybody. Are you listening?
In the world of narcissistic abuse, we actually do use this word victim. We'll often use the word perpetrator and victim. It has an almost very crime feel to it. In the way I think about it clinically, when a person is a victim, they literally don't have a full grasp of what's happening to them. They do
I was a victim.
They do feel powerless. They, in fact, are powerless.
I went to
they
meetings
often
like
don't have
that.
any sense of idea or tools of what they can do.
I still do for the coffee and the hugs.
Situation. They may not be getting any of the help that they need. And people
But
who are
listen,
victims are often suffering immeasurably. But there is definitely what we call a lack of agency, meaning that you don't know what to do. Powerlessness, helplessness, many times hopelessness, and again, lots of confusion and lack of knowledge.
I'm trying to help somebody out there. I'm trying to help
up. They go to therapy or they go to a support group or they're talking to someone. That word victim may actually even apply because the person's like, I don't know what to do. I am as helpless as a child. Again, I don't like the word because I think even a person who's going through it is doing something, but let's, humor me for a minute. Let's use that word and all the helplessness it implies. So then a person goes and gets whatever help. They may get their help through therapy. They may get their help through a church group. They may get their help through their own daily practices, self-education, whatever it is. And they start figuring it out. Like I said, I can only speak about this from the perspective of an educator about narcissistic abuse. I have the privilege of working with lots of therapists and talking about this, but also from the position of somebody who works directly with clients who are going through or have gone through narcissistic abuse. And the goal is to give them tools, right? It's in essence, they come into my office. They don't even come in with a toolbox. But my goal is that when they leave, they walk out with a shiny new toolbox full of tools that they can use. It's during this phase that a person starts learning about things like realistic expectations, radical acceptance, breaking the trauma bond, what does love bombing look like, how not to be hoovered, what does gaslighting mean, what I call that deep technique. Remember, don't defend, don't explain, go gray rock, don't personalize. They get those techniques. And people are like, okay, this is still incredibly unpleasant, but I don't feel powerless. I don't feel helpless. I have a way I can talk to my mother. I have a way I can be with my partner. And while it's not a fulfilling relationship, and it is not a satisfying relationship, I no longer feel like something is happening to me. I'm actually able to sort of understand it and not waste myself in terms of ruminating about it and wondering what's going on. A survivor gets it, okay? The survivor gets it. So that's great. However, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think the journey should end at survivorship. I really, really don't. I think survivorship is great, and I recognize that for a lot of people.
I just wanted y'all to hear that part about the powerlessness, because I was like, what the fuck?
There's one more place people can go.